What's going on, people? Welcome back to another Draco Reaction Vlogs, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and definitely comment the channel. It definitely help out with my channel in the long run. So today's match: Spurs against City. Spurs 2, Man City 2, and you could say it was a tale of two halves. But before I get into the video, I'm gonna start by saying Frank Frank needs to go, as well as the ownership and the board and the sporting directors and the recruitment. But however, it was well. Now going back to the match, It was the game today. It wasn't really good for both teams. Where Man City were flying at half, while we were just disgusting. We were terrible in the first half. However, after when the second half started, we were better than City in the first half. They were just poor in the second half. And even though Spurs came back from 2 goals down, I think neither team wanted to get that third goal or the winner. It was looking like more of both teams agreed to just take the draw and take a point. However, even though I can say, fair enough, Spurs turned up against City in the second half, even though they were just dog awful in the first half. However, drawing to Man City is just like dropping points to Burnley, Sunderland, and Brentford. It feels more like a loss to me. And after that, we're still 14th in the relegation zone. And considering the next couple fixtures we got Man United away, then Newcastle and Arsenal at home. For the next 2 home fixtures, they're not going to be easy. We should have won the last 5 games, which I think we could have easily got 15 points if it weren't for the players and the manager and team to just throw it away. Out of all the games, we could have easily picked up 3 points easily. However, fair enough to the players, they actually decided not to actually lose this match. But however, in the end, they didn't win. The team didn't win the match either. Neither team won the match. Again, starting the game, to be honest, entire first half, the team was just poor. Spurs were just all over the place. They were way more disorganized than someone trying to find a notebook inside a messy room. There's just too much passing around at the back. No sense of urgency trying to go forward. At least try to test the goalkeeper, Donnarumma. Man City were the ones that actually wanted to go ahead and grab the win. And you know what? Fair play to them. They got the goals needed in the first half. Again, we were making mistakes out of the back. Too much silly passing from Bissouma. He was taking too many touches. He lost possession of the ball. And then easily City won it. And once Turkey had a ball, no defender was closing him down. And he took his shot off his weak foot. Vicario should have done better saving it. But however, no one was there closing down Turkey on the right hand side. And no one was doing a good job trying to mark Turkey from using his weaker foot to strike. And as a result, we got punished for our silly passing out the back. Semenyo and Holland could have gotten more after we conceded in the first 10 minutes. We just didn't look like scoring at all, and Man City really wanted to kill this game off, and fair play to them. They wanted that second goal immediately, and the way we're just not doing anything when we conceded immediately, so that we're just might as well just hand City to win immediately. And to be fair, they did got the second goal in the end of the first half. Again, too much sloppiness in our back from Dragoshin. Tried to kick it out, but he went back to City player. And once Semenyo had the ball, he took his chance. He struck with his left foot, and boom, we were 2-0 down before halftime. At this point, we at least try to do something after being 2-0. The only thing I can think of that we tried to do in the first half was literally a free kick from Simmons. However, it went straight through the wall, and Donnarumma had an easy save for that goal. So, besides the chance we had, we did nothing in response when City first scored twice. And to be fair, if Man City had taken more of their chances as well as finishing their chances with Haaland and Semenyo, the game would have been put to bed and we would have lost this game 3 or 4-0 in the first half. However, in the second half, don't know what happened to the team in the locker room, but the second half something must have happened because the team changed in the second half. Man City looked more disorganized than us in the second half, and we were the ones bossing them around and trying to salvage something out of a 2-0 loss, 2-0 down goal. So, second half we were much better of a team in terms of taking more chances, as well as defending a lot better than the second half than the first half. We were a bit more organized in the back in the second half. There was an early shot from Udogi. He had a nice chance. We were having a counterattack. Simmons passed it to Solanke, and Solanke, who I don't think he couldn't have got the goal. He squared to Yogi, who took a nice left-footed strike, and boom, Donnarumma saved it. However, I think when we got the first goal back, we actually robbed Man City because even though Aitner played Solanke on side when he scored his first goal against him, however, he did foul Gahey in the build-up when he scored it, and that should have been ruled off due to that foul, not due to him being off when he scored. But however, wasn't VAR or none of the refs took a look at it, so we robbed City of a goal. So we got one back, so that was good stuff coming back, and we eventually came back from 2-0 down with another goal from Solanke. Gallagher was crossing the ball on a counter. Solanke actually took a good finish, and it went straight in the net to make it 2-2. There was no way Donnarumma was saving that. Good setup by Gallagher, and also good finish by Solanke. Simmons also played pretty well in the second half. He also created some chances, especially helping out Solanke with the goal himself, to at least try to help change the game. And after 2-2, I felt like just both sense of urgency just dropped off for both Spurs and City. It's like neither of the teams wanted to go ahead and grab a third one. After I saw the second one go in, I said, why not just grab a third? I don't care if it helps Arsenal, because even though they're top, but I want to win this game to at least try to get out of the relegation zone, or get out of being in the relegation zone. Or Man City were the ones to look like they were trying to get a third one. Chances from Reinders, Haaland, as well as Semenyo and the other teams in Gahey, they could have made it 3-2 if they had taken their chances. They each could have scored. We also could have had some chances to score as well. Olderberg had one chance he could have made it 3-2, same as a shot from Simmons. But I mean, there was not that much urgency. Even though fair play to the players who actually came back from 2-0 down instead of just taking the loss. However, the players should have stepped up and grabbed the third one to get the winner. Because a draw is just like a loss. More points dropped when we could have possibly won this match based on how we played the second half. But however, ended up finishing 2-2, and yes, even though we didn't lose against City, we didn't technically beat City either. And considering we were just rubbish the first half and better the second half, just shows. Now we need to keep this. Need to start winning games. You haven't won a game since the end of December. And yes, while give the players and the merit props for actually salvaging something. However, we didn't salvage a win, and considering how this game goes, considering our next fixtures against United, Newcastle, Arsenal, Fulham, we're not going to pick up any points. And as well as the board as well, we haven't even got that much players, and we only got one left back in from the Brazilian Serie A, as well as Conor Gallagher from Atletico Madrid. And I don't think he's been that good since he started playing here. Still need to get more players in. We need like a big budget spree to see if we can at least grab something, because yes, if we long look at the Champions League, we are fourth and we've already qualified for knockout stages. However, do we have what it takes to actually go ahead and win the Champions League? Because there are teams that in Europe, not just in the Prem, that have a better squad than us and have gone over the line before. So that unless if we're actually going to try to go ahead and get some players in so we can at least have a shot to win the Champions League, I just don't think we're going to win it. That's why I think the board should leave, as well as the owners, as well as the sporting directors, and as well as Frank. Fair play for a draw. But however, we haven't won any games, and his tactics are just defending, and long balls and set pieces. And you can see he defended a draw today. He took off Solanke, which was injured, and brought on a youngster defender from our academy to defend a 2-2 draw, which I find shocking. But then again, I'm not really surprised, because he likes to set up, try to go ahead and not to lose, which basically says, I don't care if I draw the game or if I win the game. I just don't want to lose the game. However, I want to win the game. Us fans want to win the game. And it shows that don't think Frank's going to have that much time left at Spurs. But whatever, we're going to see how the next couple fixtures are, which none of them are going to be easy. And I would be surprised if we picked up 3 points the next game. Next 3 games, if we pick up just 3 points. Because we can't beat any of the easy teams, such as Burnley, Brentford, and Sunderland, and West Ham. What makes you think we're going to win our next couple fixtures ahead of us? But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the Champions League. I think this, also as well as a transfer window, because we have less than a day till the window shuts. And let's be honest, I don't think we're getting anyone in this window. But then again, I'm not surprised either. Hope. Just gotta see what happens next. It's gonna be one hell of a February. Take care, everyone. I'm out.